NFW Nation to another episode of the Luv Shak. I'm your host, Big Al, the Doctor of Love.
And I'm your co-host, Tom and Charles.
Welcome, Charles. And also, we got a special guest over here, NFW's American hero, Mike Goldsberry. Welcome to the Luv Shak, Mike.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. It's an honor for you to be here. And first of all, I want to tell you thank you for your service to our country. You are American hero. Charles, we've got some more matches, and while I do, remember, December 31st, New Focus Wrestling presents Tis the Season at the Metro Sports Center, 5820 Metro Drive in Evans, Indiana. Bell time is 7:30. And Charles, I'll name off the matches, and if you want to give us your thoughts of them, then I'll have Mike give us his thoughts of them. Then we can take them down the line. Then we got a few questions to ask Mike. Is that okay?
Sure, man. Sounds great to me.
Okay, now you notice, one of the new matches is a dog collar match, which the Flash Brothers are the challengers. They're going to take on the NFW Tag Team Champions, Blazing Money, in a dog collar match.
Wow, that ought to be pretty good. You know, last month they had that coffin match, and that certainly got interesting. Can't wait to see this dog collar match, Al.
Okay, what do you think, Mike?
These four men have been going at it for months. They're bringing every match out of the basket, bringing excitement to NFW. I'm proud to be part of it, and these guys are bringing to the fans. Good match.
All right, now we got another one. Now, Charles, we got a lumberjack match, and the fans are going to be the lumberjacks. We got Bobo Brazil Jr. going up against Tebow.
Well, all I can say is Tebow back ready. He's ready to get his butt whipped, because them lumberjacks not, you know, the fans right there in Evansville, they're not taking a liking to Tebow much anymore. And Bobo is the favorite son, you know what I'm saying?
I know. What do you think about that match, Mike?
Well, we got two dynamic factors in this match. First thing is we have the fans of Evansville, very educated fans, so they know what to do in a lumberjack match. Second part is this is family. Do they really want to get involved in this or not?
It's going to be something else. Now we got a ladies match, Charles. Lady Vendetta, the former NFW Women's Champion, is going against Aledia Ortiz. I believe that's her name. I don't know nothing about her, Charles. Maybe you can, if you know anything about her, just let us know, my friend.
Just a little bit. I know she comes out of OVW, and she's supposed to be a very tough competitor. And I'd say Lady Vendetta's probably going to have a little bit hard to handle that night.
Now, you know Lady Vendetta too, Mike. Have you heard of Aledia Ortiz? Have you seen her?
Actually, I wrestle quite a few OVW events, and I've met Aledia, and this is going to be a whole lot harder than
She's a tough competitor than him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, Charles, we got a grudge match now. You know what happened last show? Doug Gilbert, when he turned on Flash. So they're going to go at it this show here. Doug Gilbert's going up against Flash Flanagan.
Well, first of all, I can't believe Doug did that, but I'll tell you what, Flash Flanagan is not a pushover. You know, I'll tell you what, he can get down and dirty right with him, as you very well know. So it should be a real interesting match, and you got two veterans in the ring, so
that's right.
Anything could happen.
That's right. Now, Mike, what I want to ask you is, you've seen what Doug did to Flash. He turned on him to decide. He's part of the Rich Revolution. Rich is trying to get robbed, and we hope he's going to say no. But, I mean, that's going to be a weird match. I mean, it can go either way. It's going to be tough. I don't know. I mean, you think Flash can take Doug?
Wherever Flash goes, Flash brings it.
That's right.
I will tell you that. But I've known the Gilbert family for a long time, starting with the Battle of New Orleans with his brother, Hot Stuff, and there's wrestling blood in that family. This is more than a match. This is heated. You turned on your partner.
That's right. Now, Charles, the match that you thought of, which I think is a great idea, the Texas Bull Rope match, the Hardcore Cowboys, Scotty Wolf, going up against the Owensboro Outlaw, Anthony Blaze.
Well, you know, there's a score to be settled. There's a lot of hot blood between these two men. It's been going on for 6-7 years that I know, and hopefully that night it'll get settled now. This Bull Rope match, Al, if I'm not mistaken, you've been in a couple of those.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, they can get pretty hungry. What do you think about that, Mike?
I love the matchup. These two men know each other very well, and again, this is not just a skill match or anything like that. These two men just don't like each other.
Okay, Charles. Now we seen last show Drake Younger, the cycle shooter Drake Younger taking on Canadian Kid. That was one great match. Everybody loved it. They said they both were tough. Now instead of fighting each other, they're going to be on the same side. They're going up against Ace Hawkins and Brendan Espinoza. There are two guys, Charles, that I went out to see last week, and I had footage of that Master Rich rudely interrupted me last show, and I don't know how to the footage is gone, but Ace Hawkins and Brendan Espinosa against Drake Younger and the Canadian Kid.
Well, I've had a pleasure to see both of these teams work, or both of those guys work. And this particular team matched up with Canadian Kid and Drake, man. You know, there's a hard-hitting little team right there now. Brian Espinosa, man, I've seen him wrestle. I'm not really sure about the other guy, but O'Brien, man, he can go. He's a technician. But like I said, Canadian Kid and Drake, man, both of them can fly. Everybody can fly. It's going to be a high-flying match. That's all I can say.
It is. It's for the no-limit title, too, so it's going to be tough. Now, Mike, here's one that we want to really talk to you about. The NFW heavyweight title match. 2 out of 3 falls, no time limit, no disqualification. The product of people and the head of the Rich Revolution, Master Rich, going up against the NFW champion, the Iron Man, Rob Conway. Charles?
Well, I tell you what, I was with Rob for a couple of years. You know, I managed Rob right up to that belt there in the NFW. I've traveled the roads with the man. He can go either way. He's a tough competitor. And I'll tell you this right now. It'll be a cold day in a hot place before Rob Conway goes into the Rich Revolution, because I'll tell you what, Rob's been there. He's a wily veteran. Rich has been around, but I just don't think Rob will be in. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I got a little advantage over everybody else. I've known Rob Conway since the man was 13 years old. We grew up in the same town, went to the same junior high all the way up through high school together. I respect him. Whatever side he wants to fight on, the man brings it. Master Rich, I really respect Master Rich. I know people are not going to believe me say that, but I do. The thing I don't like about Rich is his gang mentality. I've seen the man bring an OVW, and he did beat. He came in first over Conway in a match, and surprised a lot of people. Didn't surprise me. I thought he had it in him. These two are coming at it 2 out of 3 falls. This will go down to the wire.
That's right. And, okay, Mike. Now, also, Rob was in an event this past week on
the Kentucky Muscle.
Yeah, we want to congratulate Rob Iron Man. He came in second. He did great, and he's going up against another competition.
I don't. The qualifying for the Nationals.
Yeah.
They take the first 2 people. Obviously, if you look at the pictures on a Facebook, it was a very close call.
Yeah.
I don't see how he lost it myself, but judges, you know.
But he represented himself very well, very respectful. Congratulations, Iron Man. Rob Conway, you're tough, and congratulations, and good luck in the future on your contest too. So Charles, now them are the matches that are set so far. Now we got more guys coming in. We got Cousin Jimmy, Baron Von Kane, Vic the Bruiser Lewis is going to be there. So we got a lot of great stars coming in. Now I'm sure, Charles, you've got some questions you want to ask Mike.
I sure do.
You're good at it, sir. So I'll tell you what.
Q&A with me.
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. The first thing I want to know, Mike, I know you started out in Texas. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Sportatorium.
Yeah.
World class.
What took you to Texas, and was it the idea of going there to be a wrestler, or was it? I know you were in the service.
Well, no. I actually joined the service later. I graduated from New Albany High School, New Albany, Indiana. Danny Davis has runs a great show right there, but I got a hold of the gentleman Chris Adams. Told him I'd like him to be my mentor, and he agreed, and he was out of Dallas, so that's where it went.
Yeah, I know gentleman Chris Adams, man. I can't say enough good about him. That was one heck of a wrestler right there, and I'm sure the way you work, I know you were trained right. Now, this leads me to my second question. You work for Jack Atkinson, which is, everybody knows as Fritz Von Erich. Am I correct there?
Absolutely, sir.
Let me ask you something. How was it working for Fritz is today in the business? I mean, I know Fritz was old school. I remember him years ago. Of course, I'm quite older than you guys. And I remember him with his brother, Waldo Von Erich. And he goes back a long ways. How was it working with Fritz? And how did he run his show?
I don't want to say militant, but there is a level of respect that you have for Fritz Von Erich. When a promoter comes in, when the booker comes in, now He's just another guy in the locker room. It's sports entertainment. It used to be wrestling. It used to be a business of wrestling. It was hardcore. We're not there to please everybody. We're there to put people up and let two men go at it. It's a big difference now. I think there's a lack of respect in the locker room for people like, well, frankly, people like you and Al.
Well, you know, it has changed. I started fooling around with this in 1973, and I've seen a lot of changes. But I got another question about Chris Adams. If you don't mind, what was Chris' work ethic like in training you, and how tough was he on you? Because I know he demanded a lot.
Well, he did. He was gentleman Chris Adams. Obviously, he was from England. We had a very strict regimen. If you're going to wrestle 7:30, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, that's when you trained. You trained to be there and to do it. A lot of early mornings that you get some rest. Back then, of course, had to go to work also. I mean, wrestling back then wasn't a high paid business that it is now. But he was taskmaster. There was points to be done, and he wasn't mean. But if you ran a little late, yeah, you might have 100, 150 more push-ups to do that day. Absolutely.
Yeah, I always admired Chris, and also back in that time period, tell me about when Jarrett came in.
Well, Jerry Jarrett, and I got a lot of respect for Jerry. I really do, and more so him than his son Jeff. But Jerry's plan was to try to take his brand of wrestling, the Memphis brand of wrestling, global. He wanted to take over the whole United States and make it a global thing. And I think sometimes that maybe he just did a little too fast. And let's be honest, he just didn't have the deep pockets of McMahon up out of New York.
Well, at that time period, there was a lot of good guys that came out while you were out there. It was Nick Foley, Chris Adams, and Gino Hernandez, which was one of my favorites of all time to this day.
Who went to WWF as Hercules.
Yeah. Yes. Let me ask you something. Did you spend a lot of time on the road with any of these guys?
Absolutely spent a lot of time with Chris, obviously. Chris had a little grudge match, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Terry Taylor at the time. He was coming through the area. I can't tell you how many times that me and Mike and Kevin Von Erich had went toe-to-toe. A lot of respect for the Von Erich family, and feel sorry for all the losses that they've taken, early losses at that. I guess some of the matches you remember the most is Texas Red.
Absolutely.
It was Mark Calloway who turned out to be the Undertaker. Him and Dan Spivey. Those were hard matches. Some of the biggest ones. Rick Steiner, when he first started out, I was in some of his matches. Shane Douglas. A lot of people don't know Shane Douglas because he got hurt early in his career, had a neck injury. Shane Douglas could bring it every night.
Now, Mike, I want to ask you something. I'm real familiar with the Sportatorium. I was good friends with Skandar Akbar.
Yes, sir.
And what I want to ask you, I tell this to people nowadays, a lot of these younger guys, and they think, oh, no way. But tell us how the Sportatorium used to get, how packed it used to get.
Sportatorium was, it's bigger than obviously NFW is right now. It was more like, help me, give me a good size of something around this area that would be, I mean, the Louisville Gardens. I don't know if anybody's been there, but the only thing I can associate with around here that people might know is the Louisville Gardens.
Oh yeah, cut my teeth watching wrestling there.
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was, it's wrestling in a round. There's 4 sides of action. NFW has 3 sides, so it kind of gives you perspective of how it is. Stadium seating. You have people sitting on top of each other. Everybody looking down on you. The energy was outstanding. The dark shows were great. The dark shows were great. The televised shows, when they put the lights on, everybody, now everybody has one favorite. You go to see one guy. Back then, you had a favorite in every match. and it's just the energy in these places was just outstanding. It was a great place to grow up in.
Oh, yeah, it is. You were real lucky to be out there at that time period. My good friend Tony Falk was out there at that time period. Did you know Tony?
No, I don't remember Tony.
Tony, he came out there with Jared, and he revved a lot, but he was Boy Tony in USWA, if you remember that gimmick.
I do.
Yeah, that was Tony, and he told me all some great stories. You know how he went back when Cactus Jack, Nick Foley, whatever you want to call him at the time, and he had to take his cowboy boots off of him. I think his feet swelled so bad. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I remember the gimmick.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing it later.
When he ran that, and he was also telling me about the gimmick with was it Eric Embry where they did the scaffold match.
Oh, the scaffold match was awesome. Yeah, that was Eric.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, the best scaffold match I saw was actually WCW, and the Road Warriors and Rock and Roll Express. That was the best of the scaffold matches. Again, I'm remembering back on this because I wasn't there at that time. About the time Mr. Jarrett took over is the time that I went into the Air Force. So I spent most of my time for Mr. Atkinson.
Right. Okay, Mike, I got one more question for you, and then I'm going to wrap it up and let you guys take it on out. But the last thing I want to ask you is, we kind of touched on this earlier in the program. Do you see wrestling more aggressive than it did today, or do you see it going in a different direction for the better, or what's your opinion on it?
Honestly, the good thing is the dollar prevails. People will go see what they want to go see. There's another wrestling organization in Evansville, and it's a very good organization, but not necessarily what I care for in the business and sport of wrestling. I like NFW. I like the competition. They're not making up storylines. These people are living it. They don't sit next to each other in the locker room. People you go to WWF and these people are buddied up together. They travel the roads together and then they act like they hate each other. I'm sure that if you ask Flash Flanagan, him and Mr. Gilbert did not eat lunch the day before they're going to match.
No, I don't think they went up for pizza that night, but no means.
No, sir, not at all.
Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for giving me this time to do so. And I also want to tell you thank you for serving our country, and thank you for coming back into the business. We need more guys like you with tons of respect and respect for the business most of all. And once again, like I said, thank you very much, and you guys have a blessed night.
Well, Charles, thank you, and you have been around since 1973. You're a local Southeast legend. And glad to have you, and glad you're still around, sir.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mike.
Okay, Charles, don't go nowhere, okay?
I'm not going nowhere.
Okay. I got one last question to ask you. It's kind of a two-part question.
Okay.
And it's an important one. Are you wanting to get back in the ring? Do you want to wrestle again? And if you do, who would you like your first opponent to be?
Well, I've got the luxury that I've been there and done that. And when it gets back into the ring, I didn't have any aspirations till Rob Conway got hurt going into the Fatal 4-Way, and crowd kind of heard my story. Some of them, I think, remembered me, and they chanted my name. So I kind of got that fire going again, and yeah, I'd like to jump in those ropes in a tag or singles competition soon.
All right. Now, Charles.
Yes, sir.
It seems like it's the end of the show. Now, before we go, I want to thank again Mike, NFW's American Hero, for being here. It's an honor. And Charles, it's time to wrap it up. So, my friend, you ready to spread the love?
You know it, my brother. Just remember, NFW Nation, don't fight amongst yourself. Spread the love.